pleasant check. A pleasant good evening, everyone. So we are about to begin our proceedings, and we would ask Pastor McLaurin to open us with a word of prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's stand for prayer. Father, we truly want to give you thanks and praise for this day. We honor you because you're God and there is none like unto you. And so, God, even as we're about to be in this public speaking competition, I pray that your Holy Spirit will be the guide. It will be the one, oh God, that will lead the children, even as they present. I pray for clarity. I pray, God, that you're going to remove fear from them and they will be bold and courageous. I pray that even as parents, oh God, that we will show support and love for these children. So, Father, I thank you for what you're going to do right now. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor McLaurin. So we would remain standing. We'll now have the national anthem.
St. Vincent land so beautiful, with joyful hearts we pledge to thee our loyalty and love and vow to keep you ever free. Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. May peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true. Irene, now fair and blessed Isle, your mountains high, so clear and green, are home to me. Though I may stray, a haven calm serene. Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. May peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true. Our little sister islands are those gems, the lovely grenadines upon their seas, and golden sands the sunshine ever beams. Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. May peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true.
May now have your seats. Principal of the Canoan Secondary School, teachers of the Canoan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. Welcome to the Canoan Secondary School Public Speaking Competition. First, on our program, we now have the remarks of the principal of the Canoan Secondary School. Welcome, Mr. Terry Oliver.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Marshall, teachers of the Canoan Secondary School, parents, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is indeed a pleasure for the school the first time put on this public speaking competition. And I must say the week of activities, it was organized by my young, organizing, energetic teachers who came to me and decided that we're going to put on such a venture for the entire week so that we do something different in order to edify and lift up our students educationally. Now, it is a little sad though. I hope that it improve during the day to see such a small crowd. At the beginning, I should say at the end of the day should be great because we should, appreciate and come out in ventures such as these to support our children educationally. With other activities that we had in the week, I had to admonish a lot of them in terms of behavior and in what we are trying to do here, because most people seem to be more satisfied or more indulged in the jam and wine culture, I should say. And we are hoping at the Canoan Secondary School that we change that. We changed that. Our island, this is the only secondary school on the island. And the school, as I say, is a reflection of the society. What we have in the society is what is being expressed in the school is what we have in the society. And we want to change certain cultures and to show our children that they are much more out there, that they can do much more and they could achieve much more. I have to add here that we went up to the inter-school athletics meet, and for sure we have students who would be going back to take part in the finals, and I am sure that they're going to do. Thank you very much. I am sure that they are going to do the Canoan Secondary School proud. Like I was told today by someone that Canoan Secondary School name was called last night in the discussion at the press conference, that we have a few athletes that they need to watch, because in all of the heats we have students who would have qualified among everybody else in first and second places. So we have to look forward to them, we have to encourage them, and we have to show them that when it comes to their development, it's not only books, but there are also other avenues that they could excel in. So I want you to really enjoy this evening proceedings. Please give all participants your encouragement. This is the first venture, and for those students from the school who have come, your turn coming up next. Sit, look, listen. And those who are viewing from international And those who are home right here in Canawana, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we hope that you enjoy what we have to offer today. Tomorrow, we have our subject relay. It's a subject relay. So the each class would have a participant, and according to which subject we have first. So if the first leg is math, you are to do a math problem. Once you get it correct, you run on to the other leg. If it is science, you answer the science question, run to the next leg until it comes to the end. So we also invite, if you did not make it today and you are here today, we invite you to also come out tomorrow and see the children participate in these activities. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canawan Secondary. Okay. So without further ado, for those of you seated in the audience and those watching us live, viewing us live, I am Mr. Marshall, your chairperson for today. I will now introduce to you our participants. First, we have Danica Samuel. Terry Ann Bino. Jovel Pear. Shara Snag. Delicia King. And Nia McLaurin. All right. Next are the judges. So seated on the further left, we have Miss Penise Vassell Ambrose. Miss Penise Vassell Ambrose was born in Jamaica. She attended and graduated from the Heart Academy under Moore Education and Training. She is well trained in dementia care management. Mrs. Ambrose worked as a dementia assessor, manager, peer counselor, educator, a library assistant, and an assistant instructor for skills training. Mrs. Ambrose enjoys reading and doing crochet. One of her favorite quotes is, "We must cultivate a spirit of forgiveness." Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Penise Vassell Ambrose. Seated on her left is Dr. Rafiq A. Pope. Dr. Rafiq A. Pope hails from Camden Park and was raised in a single-parent home. He attended the St. Martin's Secondary School, where he pursued the sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics. He later went on to further his studies in Cuba for 6 years and went on to Taiwan for 4 years. He later graduated with a bachelor in nursing and a doctor of medicine degree. Dr. Pope has worked in the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital in various departments, accident and emergency being a favorite. He later ventured to Kanawhan when the COVID pandemic struck us in 2020 to assist in the COVID testing efforts on the island. Shortly after, he worked as a private doctor at the Sandy Lane Yacht Club and the Morecambe Resort, tending to guests and staff. Dr. Pope is friendly, adventurous, prides himself to be very ambitious and hardworking. One of his favorite quotes is, "Life is what you make it, so make the life you want." Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rafiq A. Pope. Lastly, our third judge, Miss Gifford Alexander. Miss Gifford Alexander is a former student of the St. Vincent Community College. She graduated with 5 CAPE subjects. Her love for mathematics and her burning desire to diminish the "math is hard" mantra. Instilling a positive attitude towards mathematics is what led her at her present position of teaching mathematics at the Kanawhan Secondary School. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, dancing, baking, and indulging in activities that challenges her. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gifford Alexander. All right. So, as we may know by now, this week, our Literacy Week, it was developed by the teachers of the English department, and the theme is "A reader today, a leader tomorrow," and that is indeed true. Now, without further ado, I will now present to you the topic for this evening's public speaking competition. And it says, electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived then from allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? And I repeat, electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived them allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? And that is the topic for this evening's prepared speech of the public speaking competition. Okay. So we're going right into our public speaking competition, and I will now ask our first participant to come to the podium, and that person is, I will now ask the principal of the Kanawhan Secondary School to declare the rules of the competition.
The rules. Each student will present 2 speeches, 1 prepared speech and an impromptu speech. The main speech will not exceed 10 minutes. Our first bell will ring at 6 minutes, and our second bell will ring at 8 minutes. Judges will discard anything after 10 minutes. For the impromptu speech, each participant will have 1 minute to consider the topic and 2 more minutes to make their presentation. Any participant who speaks for less than 6 minutes, that is in the prepared speech, will have 5 points deducted. At no point should any member of the audience engage in any communication with the participant. We encourage you to encourage them, but do not prompt them. Thanks.
Very much. Mr. Terence Oliver. Okay, so we'll get right into it. And we'll call our first participant to the podium, Miss Danica Samuel, to do her speech.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canawan Secondary School, teachers of the Canawan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. The topic for today's public speaking competition states, electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of everyday life. What positives can be derived from students bringing their electronic devices to school? Before I proceed, allow me to define key terms in this topic. The Oxford Dictionary defines positives as expressing agreement or support. Electronic devices are components for controlling the flow of electronical currents for the purpose of information and process control. As generations advance, performing simple day-to-day tasks have become easier with the use of new electronic devices. These devices have become a part of students' daily use or lifestyle. I mean, literally, everywhere you walk in school, you find someone with a phone. Electronic devices such as computers, smartphones, e-readers, and tablets, which children use at home, can be permitted to be used in school. It is important that we understand how these devices will assist students in the everyday function at school, once they're used effectively to enhance learning. Computers perform many functions with great speed and provide information readily at your fingertips. Smartphones or mobile phones seem to be the most popular electronic device as they are capable of anything with internet and SIM card for information and telecommunication. The tablet, which is a handheld computer, can perform the same functions of any of the electronic devices mentioned previously with functions such as SIM card and storage capacity. While persons may consider mobile phones as a distraction for most students, there are several applications and programs that can be used to assist learning and student success in the classroom. Modern educational trends have seen the use of e-readers and similar devices to assist in educational improvement. Students equipped with smart devices will help to lessen the need for various textbooks. As a result, learning will be more manageable, fun, and interactive. E-books allow a great deal of digital media to be easily carried out by a student. Many e-readers will provide textbooks for students at lower prices than physical books, and will greatly reduce the weight of carrying a heavy book bag. My back breaks every day to bring that book bag to school. The Canawan Secondary School is equipped with smart boards in the laboratory and classrooms. Hence, the teaching and learning environment is adequately fitted to accommodate any learning device that students may possess. Internet and Wi-Fi connectivity are provided and are easily accessible for daily use in teaching and the learning process and aid research. Educational institutions are equipped with electronic devices that are integrated in a smart fashion in the educational environment to make the best use of internet-enabled learning. Hence, positives can be derived for students bringing the electronic devices to school. Within the classroom, these devices can assist in improving teaching methods and activities to make learning fun, enjoyable, and exciting. Hence, teachers will be able to deliver lessons via interactive games and leaderboards. using the devices. Positive outcomes will be endless for students in the classroom once these electronic devices are utilized effectively. Additionally, due to the advancement in technology and digital transformation, teachers can adjust their classroom style to help students acquire the necessary skills to succeed. Essentially, students will now be offered the opportunity to reap greater success in school. With knowledge of these electronic devices, students are prepared to function in a technological world. Indeed, teachers can spark inquisitiveness and boost their curiosity by using these electronic devices to engage students to boost their academic success classroom. Using devices like a computer, tablet, or other type of technology in the classroom can turn traditionally dull subjects into interactive and fun activities. For example, social studies. In addition, students' communication skills will improve with the use of these electronic devices as they foster togetherness, group work, and teamship, some of the most adorable qualities in education. These electronic devices can make learning easier, especially for students who may learn best through aural and visual means. Indeed, having electronic devices will facilitate collaboration with peers. Many learning devices essentially can perform functions that allow students to record audio and video of class for later reference. Indeed, some provide additional features such as calculators and facilitate convenient access to these materials and refer to them when necessary. I can therefore conclude with these positives that can be derived from students bringing their electronic devices to school. These include, number one, create a more engaged learning environment. You may think technology is just a distraction, but it can help encourage active participation in the classroom. Number two, they incorporate different learning styles. Number three, they improve collaboration. Number four, they help prepare students for the future. Number five, they connect teachers with their students. Number six, they help make learning easier. Number seven, it is a proven fact that electronic devices in school can help accelerate a student's learning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I thank you for listening to my speech.
That was well spoken by Miss Danica Samuel. Give her another round of applause. And Miss Danica Samuel has just spoken for 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Our next participant, excuse me. So there's a notice for the participants who, well, not for Danica, who has already spoken, but the rest participants, you are asked to be present at the IT lab. And our next participant, presenting her speech, we call to the podium Terian Bino.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canaan Secondary School, teachers of the Canaan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. The mood for today is electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived from allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? Words from the famous David Wallach, who is an educator, author, programmer, and public speaker, said, and I quote, "We need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world." End of quote. Today, I am here to speak on the positives that can be derived from allowing students to bring electronic devices to school. With the use of electronic devices in school, students are able to enhance their collaboration in classrooms, and teachers can be able to connect with students. They also assist in providing a more engaged learning environment and allow students to be in control of their learning. With electronic devices, students are able to stimulate their senses and expand their imaginations, as well as encourage cognitive learning. Technology also enhances illustrations and presentations. Students oftentimes are not willing to collaborate in classrooms. With the use of electronic devices, the collaboration of students can be enhanced. Students would have easy access to information, exciting learning activities, and a deeper understanding of challenging concepts, all of which would push and encourage students to be more involved and active during lessons, and also to be willing to work with peers to solve problems. Moreover, teachers are able to use these electronic devices as a way to connect with their students. Oftentimes, teachers find learning to be more effective and less tedious by creating or giving fun online quizzes, allowing students to watch YouTube videos for research purposes, and even have them create groups and play games in order to come up with solutions to their problems. Furthermore, electronic devices assist with providing a more engaged learning environment. With the assistance of technology, students are able to expand their critical thinking and creativity through technological features, incorporating information from numerous sources, and taking part in inquisitive learning activities, as well as evaluating creative outcomes using technology. Technology plays a critical role in stimulating students' senses and helps them to expand their imaginations. With electronic devices, it has become a lot easier to bring the creative, young minds of students and their ideas closer. When those creative minds and their ideas come together and collaborate, they are able to expand their ideas further at the same time. Electronic devices assist in promoting cognitive learning. By the help of electronic devices, students are actively learning and focusing better. They would also deepen their memory and retention capacity. The use of technology in school would also help the students to maximize the potential of their brains. Additionally, allowing students to be able to use electronic devices in school gives them the chance to be in control of their learning. Technology finds a way to become a part of the educational system and students' lives more and more each day, making work easier and also assist in giving a sense of responsibility and control of our future. In addition, these devices can be used to enhance illustrations and presentations. Information is hardly ever presented on a whiteboard or blackboard anymore, now that there are electronic devices such as projectors, smart boards, mobile tablets, televisions, and even smartphones. Both students and teachers can use these devices to customize the ways in which they can present information in class. It prepares us for the future. Technology is all around, which is why it's important to incorporate technology into students' learning. Using technology when students are being taught helps them to familiarize themselves with common programs that they most likely would use in their future careers. Additionally, electronic devices support learning. Many students learn best when they have access to electronic devices. Technology offers a variety of teaching and learning techniques that can assist teachers with conveying the subject material to numerous students. With all that being said, technology is all around us and is improving and also becoming more and more a part of our lives daily, and is a crucial part of our society. It can be used to help ease the workload of students as well as teachers, resulting in better learning experiences. I thank you.
Give it up for Terry and Bino. Terry Ann has just spoken for 5 minutes and 58 seconds. And I must say, there are not only positives of using technology in schools for students, but it's also a privilege to be a teacher, teaching in the most modern when it comes to technology. School, the most modern when it comes to technology, school in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Without further ado, I'll now call to the podium Miss Shara Snag. I'm sorry. What happened? I now call Mr. Jovel Pe to the podium.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canouan Secondary School, teachers of the Canouan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. Our topic for today is electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived from allowing students to bring electronics devices in school? The concept of phones in school is an argument that has been going on for many, many years. The enhancement of technology throughout recent years has reignited the argument, with one side saying schools should now allow electronic devices in school due to the uprising of technology. Yet the other side says phones in school may cause too much of a distraction and have a bad effect on student grades. However, there has been a lot of studies that show phones in school can have a magnificent effect, actually outweighing the bad. Some of these benefits are improved communication, organization, accelerated learning, emergency uses, less expense, and will also teach students how to use a phone responsibly. For students in the audience, has a teacher ever told you to find them for help after school and you couldn't find them? Devices in school can be helpful with communication by using their cell phones to communicate with their parents and friends. Students can also use their cell phones to communicate with their teachers. This allows students to give feedback and questions to teachers easily and receive answers whenever the teacher has time. This would be really important if a teacher isn't at school but a student has an urgent question. Teachers have been arguing that using phones in school can temper with the students' learning due to distractions. But from a field experiment from Niger, available on the US Department of Educational website, shows phones can be used in a meaningful way, accelerating students' learning. Such ways can be using educational apps to carry out quizzes and classworks. Such apps include Quizlet, Kahoot, Plickers, and many more. These apps can also make the classroom more engaging and exciting, possibly having students more focused on the work instead of being bored in class, not paying attention. All of these have shown to benefit and improve a student's learning experience. There is a sad reality that crimes in school are taking place. The last 5 school shootings in the US, the first calls made to the police were done by students on their personal cell phones. Some of these students saved lives. Over the years, the office phone has been proven unreliable time and time again, especially for people who suffer from asthma attacks and other illnesses. In emergency situations, students' personal cell phones are way more reliable than the office phone. I'm sure many of you know how expensive printer ink is, right? One of the most expensive office products is printer ink. School tends to use a lot of this daily, along with other resources such as paper or staples. All of these things are time consuming, for example, printing paper for classwork. But this can be avoided. Some schools have already started using online apps to do work, such as the ones stated before: Kahoot, Clickers, and Quizlet. All of these are cost-efficient means of doing work by the use of technology. If students are ever allowed to bring phones in school, there will obviously be measures and protocols to make sure the school is still a safe learning environment. This will ensure classes and activities to prevent cyber harm. So by doing this, students will learn how to use a cellular phone safely and responsibly. Organization is a need in students' life, keeping track of assignments, quizzes, and classworks. Electronic devices can give major help with organization, because it includes apps such as the calendar, reminders, and notes. This can help students keep track of homework and other school-related tasks. This concludes my speech. Thank you for your full attention.
Give it up for Mr. Jovel Pear. That was well said. And I heard Jovel Pear saying that phones can be used to communicate with teachers. And I urge the students of Cannon Secondary School, please do not be communicating in the school chat at 2 a.m. Thank you. So I will now go in. Jovel has spoken for 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Our next participant goes by the name of Shara Snag. Welcome.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Marshall, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canaan Secondary School, teachers of the Canaan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. We are living in a technological age. You seldom see anyone holding a book, but you can be sure anywhere you look, persons have a device in their hand. Some of us would leave home forgetting to eat or to brush our teeth, but we never forget that phone. Due to the seeming addictions that persons, especially young people, have to these devices, they are often looked down on, or the use of them is strongly prohibited. We, however, fail to acknowledge the many benefits that these electronic devices can bring. The mood before us is electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positive can be derived them allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? For the next few minutes, I intend to expound on how electronic devices make learning fun and assist both students and teachers in our learning experience. Imagine this. You're super thrilled about a subject that is being offered at school, but when it's time for that session, no textbooks. Textbooks prove to be an integral part of obtaining information, so you can imagine the hindrances that come from not having one. You may think it's an outrageous thought, but here in our lovely Canaan Secondary School, we are lacking textbooks, whether it be there isn't enough or none at all. However, with the use of the internet, and our electronic devices, you can now download textbooks and have it at your fingertips on devices. So no one would have an excuse as to why they did not read a chapter or do their homework. Everyone would have access to a textbooks. And with bringing their devices to school, they can be involved and engaged in class sessions that will be taking place. Secondly, students should bring electronic devices to school since it helps them to understand work better. Different students have different learning styles. Teaching would be more effective if this was catered to. With the use of electronic devices, an all-in-one approach could be taken. Students would have the use of their dictionary, notebook, and external resources such as newspapers, articles, and videos at their disposal. This also maximizes the learning time because less time is consumed since students don't need to go to the library and spend hours researching for information or documents to take notes on a topic when they can simply just use the internet to get information much quicker. Additionally, it is also beneficial for teachers to have the teacher-student connection, where teachers can place notes and works online for students to easily access them. This reduces the time taken to be writing notes. Also, it removes the excuses of forgetting notebooks or writing in a different book and not having the material present. Once you have your device, you know your information needed is on there. It also opens the avenue to making learning fun. There are so many applications and sites that can be used to relay the information to students to cater to their different learning needs. Whether it be watching a video, playing games like Kahoot or Jeopardy, or being able to pursue a plethora of images. It is not fresh news that students nowadays seem to not be interested in school. By making learning fun, the study games and quizzes would encourage students to interact and participate more in classes with their peers. Furthermore, with accessibility to the device, internet access will be easily got. We are not inept to the fact that the internet has a lot of information on many different topics and ideas. Controlled exposure and access to the internet can help students to be more open-minded on different topics, where they can simply carry out some research to have a better understanding so they grasp the topics in class. I know teachers are tired of teaching one thing today and coming tomorrow and nobody remembers anything about it. I am convinced this would help curb that. Having access to accurate resources would help students to find creativity in their work. It also ensures that the information they gather is valid. Student lives become smoother and vibrant rather than dull and monotonous. It can also be argued that after the impact of COVID-19 in our society, we need to integrate the use of technology even more. During the pandemic, the majority of learning and lessons were online. Even though we are back in face-to-face setting, this practice can still be integrated. Let's say a teacher is unable to be physically at school for whatever reason. Their physical presence would not need to limit the ability for a session to take place. With the electronic devices being in school, a teacher can Zoom or Google Meet to have their class. Or maybe it would be to send work to keep students occupied during sessions. Regardless, their schooling continues. Lastly, having electronic devices in school limits the amount of time wasting among students. When you walk alongside the corridor at random times during the school day, you're sure to see students, especially the upper form students, frolicking around having the time of their lives. You would never believe that they have lots of schoolwork to do. Students tend to have time as a joke when it comes to their schoolwork. But upon talking with them, they express that a lot of assignments and works that they have to do are done on their laptops and tablets. However, because they shouldn't have these devices in school, they have to wait until they get home to resume their work, and such they have free time doing nothing until that time. If they can bring their devices to school, when they have free sessions, they can catch up on outstanding work, in some cases, also work on SBAs. By doing this, you can save time to do extra studies or to do something productive rather than rushing to get assignments and SBAs done. Furthermore, teachers don't have to run down students for outstanding work as they would continually do their work on a day-to-day basis. We definitely understand the hesitance surrounding allowing the use of electronic devices in school, but we are living in an advanced time. Technology has proven to be the way to go. However, we still need our book sense. So why not integrate the two? It is my opinion that the pros definitely outweighs the cons when it comes to the topic at hand. There are many positives to be derived from allowing students to bring their electronic devices to school, whether it be for textbook use, access to notes, being interactive in class activities, or staying on top of one's schoolwork. It may take some fine-tuning and some putting electrical and internet measures in place, but it can definitely be done. Hence, we need to start now. We need to give students every advantage they can to obtain most exemplary education that can be got. I thank you.
That was Shara Snag with a well-said speech. So Sarah has presented her speech in a time of 7 minutes and 57 seconds. And I would like to highlight to the audience and the viewers, so if a participant presents his or her speech in less than 6 minutes, there will be 5 points deducted from them. And I would like to announce that VINLEC will be sponsoring the school a trophy for next year's event. So I can definitely say this is the beginning of great things in the Canoan Secondary School. So now we'll have our 5th participant, the youngest of them all, Delicia King.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Marshall, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canoan Secondary School, teachers of the Canoan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. Today I will be presenting on the topic, electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived from allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? I repeat, electronic devices have become more and more accessible and a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived from allowing students to bring electronic devices to school? As a student myself, a lot of possible situations popped up in my head as I read this question over and over again. When I got the topic, I was excited. I said, yes, now I'll be able to tell everyone why we should be allowed to bring our devices to school daily. In everything we know that there are pros and cons, and so allow me to state the advantages and disadvantages, and let's see if the good outweighs the bad. Let's examine the advantages. If the government makes it mandatory that all students can bring their devices to school, there will be no need for physical textbooks anymore. Each student will be able to download digital textbooks and research whatever topic is being discussed right in the comfort of their classroom. The advantages are as follows. 1. Reduce costs. This can help cut down on expenses for a lot of families, as we know that the textbooks aren't very cheap these days. For persons from the Grenadines, this can reduce transportation costs for boats and accommodation fee while on the mainland, and therefore saving a lot of money. 2. Weight lifted. How many times we hear students complaining about their bags being too heavy? Many, right? The heavy bags affecting students' backs and causing them to walk hunched over. This is very scary because it can have a lifelong effect on these students. Truth be told, having to carry these heavy textbooks every single day can be very unnecessary, making it uncomfortable and exhausting for most students. 3. Students might use technology to formulate their own questions about topics, instead of having the teacher pose questions. Bringing your own device can be used to engage experts from outside the classroom. Students can use communication features to engage in projects that require contacting the community or local leaders. Let's take a look at the BIAD policy. BIAD was primarily a policy that was embraced by the IT departments of various organizations. BIAD, Bring Your Own Device, began in 2005 and never started growing until the year 2009. BIAD is the increasing trend toward employee-owned devices within a business, but BIAD has permeated, spread through educational institutions as well, and these days, students are asked to bring their own devices to schools. Bring Your Own Device schools often bans devices among younger students, but allows students to bring their older students, to bring their electronics to class. The BIAD option is typically introduced somewhere between 8th grade and 10th grade. So, for months, you won't be able to bring your own devices, Although some schools only allow upperclassmen to bring personal devices to class. The people in charge for creating these methods in school and making sure everything is safe and that the rules are followed are the authorities, teachers, and principals. For educational purposes, certain websites and pages will be blocked. This allows students to stay more focused on their intended tasks and goals. Now let's look at the disadvantages. Having a phone or tablet can be very distracting. You intend to do one thing and you get distracted and end up on another app. All my TikTok lovers, you know what I'm talking about. With notifications coming in every minute, you want to check to see what and who's texting, and so it can be very distractive. Students may be more easily distracted while working on their own mobile devices. Secondly, students might forget to charge their devices. How many times has this happened to us? We use the device so much that we just forgot to charge it, and when we are ready to use it, it's dead. I can testify to this happening to me so many times. Students bringing in their own devices to school may increase the possibility of theft. There are many students who don't have their own and may use this as an avenue to steal. Does the good outweigh the bad? Although there are disadvantages in students bringing their devices to school, these disadvantages can be minimized by proper supervision of those in authority. In conclusion, I strongly believe that students should be allowed to bring their devices to school. Each student will be responsible for their own electronics, and based on my research, the good does outweigh the bad. So, Mr. Oliver and those in authority, allow us a chance to adopt the BIAD method to school and make our load lighter, save our parents' monies, and make our school students technologically savvy. I thank you.
Up for Delisa King. And Delisa King has spoken for 6 minutes. And now, last but not least, we call our final participant to the podium as she makes her way, Nia McLaurin. Welcome, Nia.
Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Conwell Marshall, Mr. Terry Oliver, Principal of the Canoan Secondary School, teachers of the Canoan Secondary School, judges, students, parents, well-wishers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants, good afternoon. So the topic I'll be speaking on is electronic devices have become more and more accessible and are a part of our everyday life. What positives can be derived from allowing students to bring their devices to school? Mr. Chairman, the benefits of using technology in the classroom are huge. We live in a world that is moving fast, and thus, technology in education is not an option, but rather an essential. Students live in a world that is dominated by devices and apps. It is the world they exist in and keeps them engaged, and this is not going to disappear. In fact, this will become more prevalent in the coming years. So what are the positives in allowing students to use their devices in the classroom, you may ask? Firstly, it can enhance interaction and increase student engagement. Students love using their electronics for games and social media. But if we allow them to use those devices in school, it gets them more engaged in classwork and helps them to learn much more effortlessly, and they are able to have fun while learning. Moreover, Mr. Chairman, it prepares students for the future. The world is evolving and technology is running at the top of the game. Why should we be left out and enter the work environment with little experience of functioning in this spectrum? Students will be experts at maneuvering the electronics and managing their day-to-day activities with the use of technology. In fact, I want to suggest that the educational system should look into having our textbooks as ebooks, which will make it more easily available, and accessible for all students. We have long gone past the stage of walking around with these heavy textbooks. Thirdly, it connects better with students. Digital devices provide opportunities for students to learn and research at the click of a finger. Therefore, student participation are likely to increase, which would result in improved grades and student outcome. Additionally, it can open the door to new learning techniques which are available, for example, YouTube videos. Students can share and collaborate even beyond the classroom. Collaboration is key to engagement in today's classroom, which will allow students to open up lines of communication and use the internet to explain curriculum material in a new way, which tends to be very helpful to students. Mr. Speaker, one cannot deny that the use of devices supports learning. It boosts productivity and creativity. Many students learn best when they have access to technology, and it allows them to create high-quality presentations with utmost convenience. More so, students that are interested in art, music, filmmaking, and anything else virtually can find their resources online. Why do we need our devices, you may ask? We need the use of several apps and programs, namely Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and etc., to accomplish tasks like posters, letters, and slideshows faster. Mr. Speaker, many students are struggling to prepare their SBA projects because we lack experience of using technological devices on a regular basis for schoolwork and projects. Moreover, there are differentiation.
a variety of programs and information sources which are accessible just by the click of a button. In that way, students are able to choose their own topics, and the work is done in a shorter time span rather than going to the library where the books have a limited information and having to sit down for hours upon hours doing research. Mr. Speaker, we know that many may say we don't need our devices, but we cannot ignore the fact that during the COVID-19 pandemic, our devices saved us. Teachers were able to send and receive work. Parents were able to track what the children were doing. Students were able to collaborate and even do group work. Mr. Speaker, using our devices will not only benefit students, but I'm sure it will decrease your paperwork. You can collect classwork, homework, projects without having to carry around all these notebooks, textbooks, and paper. Let us help save a forest and flow with the tide of technology. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, we can either embrace the use of technology and our devices, or we can ignore it and watch our children lose interest as the world of technology slips through our fingers stuck in the paper world. I thank you.
Well said by Nia McLaurin. Give it up for all the participants. Okay, so we have come to an end to the prepared speeches. But before that, Nia has spoken for 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Okay, so now we're about to go into our impromptu speeches. Let me rehearse the rule. Any participant who speaks, so for the impromptu speech, each participant will have 1 minute to consider the topic and no more than 2 minutes to make their presentation. So the procedure is they will come to the podium in the same order and choose their topic to do their speech. Okay? So I was advised that the bell will signal the end of the minute to begin your speeches. So without any further ado, I call Danica Samuel to the podium. Danica's topic is sports.
Good afternoon to everyone again. I personally am not a very athletic person. Indeed, I do not like very much sports. The only sport I really take interest in is netball. There are many different kinds of sports, many different rules to these sports. I cannot afford to learn all. I will not try to learn all. The most popular sports in Canaan right now are football and basketball. Right about now, every time you hear a basketball game is on, you can find every boy in school watching it. Every different country you go to will have different sport names or different rules to these sports. For example, American football is called rugby down here, and football down here is called soccer in America. Oof. Thank you.
So that was Danica Samuel doing her impromptu speech on sports. I'll now call our next participant to do her impromptu speech, Terrian Bino. Terrian's topic is no Wi-Fi.
With protocol already being established, good afternoon. With no Wi-Fi, to be honest, I'm senile. As young people, we often find ourselves attached to the internet, and I could speak for most of us when I say when there's no Wi-Fi, all hell break loose. When there's no Wi-Fi, I often find myself encouraged to read, sometimes even going to sleep. And as my mother in the back there knows, I don't go sleep till like after 12 or after 1. I remember just the other day, Digicel was down and I was going crazy. I find myself outside reading a book that I borrowed from Miss Snag since 2022. Miss Snag, I read 3 pages out of the book, and when Wi-Fi went the other day, I read half of that book. I found myself by the window looking out, waiting on Delicia because we planned to watch the inter-secondary school heats at our house. I looked out, I saw her, and tears ran down my face. I said, Delicia, I said, please tell Cheyenne and Kimonique. I said, please tell Cheyenne and Kimonique to pass for me because I have no internet or no way to inform them. I thank you.
So that was no Wi-Fi by Terrian Bino. So I will call Mr. Jovel Pear to do his impromptu speech at this time. Jovel's impromptu speech would be on STIs. I repeat, STIs.
Good afternoon. So, sexually transmitted infections. Fun topic. What could cause this? Failed contraceptives or just unprotected sex? There are lots of different types of STIs, and there has been new medication and treatments to fight them. A lot of people can now live with STIs that a couple years ago maybe they thought your life expectancy would have been shortened because of it. A lot of younger people who are more experimental need to look out for this, for STIs. Good afternoon.
So that was Jovel Pear with STI. I guess that topic was too much fun for him. So without any further delay, I will now call Shara Snag. Come on. Shara's topic is SVG Carnival.
Protocols having been established, good afternoon. SVG Carnival. I love SVG Carnival. I love going to Carnival, especially with the music flowing, with the dances, but I know I can't dance or whine or anything, but I still try a thing. Don't talk about when the girls in the clothes and the costumes, how they dress. Don't talk about when they bring in the Nadia Bastan and the red girl whining so fat, so whatever the word be. But I love their music day. I love to go down with the music. One time I went to Carnival and I was dancing. Mommy, don't get vexed. I was dancing on a boy, and my best friend was there. And then I didn't know, and I didn't want to dance on the boy. And then my best friend was watching me, and I went there dancing the song to the song and everything. And then I look around and I see the boy, and I jump up because I was drunk, in Carnival. But I love carnivals. Thank you.
Wow. All right, so that was Charles Stag with SVG Carnival. So I will go straight to our next participant, Delicia King, to the podium. Delicia's topic is scary movies. Sorry? I will urge the audience to please try and be quiet. I know it's exciting.
Okay. Protocol having been established, good afternoon. You got the topic scary movies. Okay, so when I hear scary movies, I'm thinking people jumping, screaming. To be honest, I rather comedy or romantic movies, but scary movies, so. I remember this time, right? I was watching a scary movie with my sister, and we was already supposed to be in bed, but mommy did go out the house. I think she went church. So we turned on the TV to watch a movie, and we put on scary movie. So we pop in the popcorn, drinking the juice, watching scary movies. So. When the scary movie come, the scary part coming up and you jump and you scream and you're lily. So we there doing that and we got so caught up in the movie, we forgot the time and didn't realize that mommy was already home. So we watching the movie and I went to use the bathroom And all I could get up and see is mommy behind me. Okay, so I just remember getting some licks that night. It was not very enjoying, but I thank you.
It up for Delicia King with Scary Movies. And our final participant to do her impromptu speech, I call to the podium Nia McLaurin. And Nia's topic is Sweet Nine Mornings.
Protocol being established. Good afternoon once more. 9 mornings. What can I say about 9 mornings? Now, I'm just 15. I don't go to 9 mornings, of course. 9 mornings happening around nearing Christmas time, coming up to the 25th of December, my favorite day, Christmas Day, where I get to eat, I get to enjoy my food, I get to go to church in the morning. You know, thank God for being born and dying on the cross for us. Sometimes I'm in my bed and the window is open and I'm just hearing music busting down the road and sometimes up above the school. And I just have to wake up because I am just being completely disturbed by the music, although some of the music is sweet sometimes. No, don't get me wrong, the music is sweet sometimes, but no, Christmas is sweet, and 9 mornings is sweet. What else can I say about 9 mornings? 9 mornings, there's music, there's dancing, there's enjoyment. They start from in the wee hours of the morning into around after 8, after 9. Some don't go home until in the afternoon. But I guess this is all I can say about 9 mornings because I don't really know much about 9 mornings. So I thank you.
To give it up for Nia McLaurin with Sweet 9 Morning. And I'd also like to give a special round of applause for each and every participant that presented their speeches today. So I will now ask the judges that they would quietly follow Miss Peters to do their tallies and call the principal of the Canoan Secondary School, Terry Oliver, to the podium.
Now we're just going to have some fun. Good? We have some extra topics. And who feel that they are so brave enough to choose one of these topics I want to put you on the spot. It is not, I'm going to go to Anya Doroshe. Anya, come. Anya, come. Impromptu is, it's sweet. Inter-school, that's what she got. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, my topic is inter-school, and you already know inter-school is coming up soon, and of course I will be going. And I just hope it will be bad up, you don't know. So, inter-school. I can't remember the last time I've been inter-school. I think this might be the first time I will be going. But I just hope I enjoy myself, and I want to say all the best to the secondary school and the primary school. Thank you.
Now, it's very interesting that she chose the topic inter-school. And here we have one of our athletes who will be going to inter-school representing the uniform. Representing Canawan Secondary School, the winning. And we are hoping, well, we know that many of our athletes made it to the finals. And when we go up, we're going to represent our little island very well. Thank you very much. We have Aaron Jack, who's going to take part. You don't have to write down anything, Aaron. It's a spur of the moment. You don't need no paper, Aaron. Turn around. Oh, Pan, let me see the topic. Let me see the topic. Social media. So just think about it. Hold the mic while you think.
Social media. Well, I always using this thing here. So, are we using it? So, social media is where we use devices to connect with each other, right? Sometimes you use it for the bad, sometimes you use it for the good. Sometimes we share videos, sometimes we share pictures. Like the other day we had sports. We shared the video on, I believe it was Canawan Islanders page on Facebook. Right. Sometimes we use Facebook Market to buy stuff. That is social media. We use Instagram. Some people selling gibbets right about now. practice my speech.
Now, it proves something. Many of you will sit there and you look at those who took part in the competition and you actually think that impromptu is so easy. I have a topic. I'm not going to say it, but I want somebody to come up and I will give them the topic and you feel that you can speak on it. And you just came up. I want somebody else. I need somebody else to come. Let me see who's brave enough to come. Come, Gia. And Gia's topic is snotty nose.
As you may know, snotty nose come from cold or influenza or the flu. It's very nasty. But you know, a snotty nose can help you get rid of the bacteria in your body. That's an advantage. But still, it's dirty and it's nasty. Many people may say that, I don't want to get any snotty nose. It just makes me feel congested. Also makes you sneeze. The fluids in the body is built up, and when you get the flu, it makes it even worse. So your body now is telling your white blood cells, get that icky thing out of me. That's very nasty. So, as I was saying, snotty nose isn't as bad because your body is trying to heal yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, this children are showing the way. I need an adult to come forward. I need an adult. I need an adult. The children are calling Miss Durant. Come, Miss Durant. Come. Come, Miss Durant.
Don't judge.
I've given you an easy topic. And your topic is tight shoes.
Go ahead, Ms. Dura.
Very much so. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So, I know I'm speaking to all the ladies. When we go shopping, we see a shoe that we like and we try it on, right? Yes, we try it on. And sometimes it doesn't fit. But we insist that we buy it because it's stylish, it's our color, and it would stretch, right? So we go home and we take the little Hyroon bottle or the Sunset bottle and we stick it in the shoe, right? So it would stretch, right? Or we take the shoe stretcher and we make it our size. But there's disadvantage to this. There's something called, I don't know the scientific name for it, but we call it bunions, right? Corn. Yes, when we wear the tight shoes and we say, yeah, it will stretch after one wear. But then when we take it off, we see this little water boil there, or we see our big toe start to go this way instead of this way, right? Sometimes even too, when we wear the tight shoes, our feet sweat and it kind of gets stinky, right? But I don't think there's advantage of wearing tight shoes unless we say it looks sweet. Your girlfriend hype you, girl, yeah, this shoe look good. Yeah. But I'm telling you, be careful of getting bunions when you wear tight shoes. I thank you.
I think that she forgot to say that tight shoes just make you look when you're walking like if you're crippled. Now, we had for the presentation or presentations of the English SBA, the students, whatever topic they choose, had to make a presentation in terms of a poem or a song or dramatizations. And what we heard today from the Form 5 students, it was indeed exceptional. And it proves that our small school, our children have talent. We just need to push them, forward. So we're going to hear a few of these today. 2 poems. And now our first poem, tea, crime, all things that we did. Throw them in. Others could see what they have. Now we're going to have Miss Mary King.
Good afternoon, guys. My topic for the SBA, the English SBA, was crime and violence, and my poem is on rape. The name of my poem is Not Because. Imagine knowing someone all your life for them to take advantage of you and abuse their part in your life. Not because I am a victim of rape means I don't have a future. Not because I am afraid of people means I will never find happiness. Where there was once love, there is now pain.
I will never have innocence again. You were loved by me before you attacked me. You abused me and laughed as tears ran down my face. You were a weapon of force when it came onto me. I pleaded with you, stop, but you still wouldn't get off. My pain, my tears were just not enough. The image of it all is a stain in my mind. How you started off with an inappropriate smile, never forgetting, never forgiving. In one fell swoop, you changed my life. Not because I am a victim of rape means I don't have a future. Not because I am afraid of people means I will never find happiness. Where there was once love, there is no pain. I will never have innocence again.
Powerful indeed. Poems written by our students. And now we're going to have a song, and I call Miss Michaela Johnson.
A pleasant good afternoon to everybody. Other people running inside your head and telling you to focus on what is ahead. Focus on your mental health instead, cause then in all the tears you had shed, and how many times you wished you were dead. Your last patience with the voices in your head, here on by a little piece of thread. Yeah, I'm telling you, hold on a little longer. Go and get the help that you need. Yeah, I'm spreading awareness for mental illness taking control. Fighting a battle that's never won. Mental illness taking your soul. Not to be left, no mind to console. You're too fat, your belly isn't fat, your body isn't great, lose a bit of weight, you believe them is when you're not thinking straight, hear me out. Yeah, I'm telling you, hold on a little longer, go and get the help that you need. Yeah, I'm spreading awareness for mental illness taking control, fighting a battle that's never won. Mental illness taking control, not to be left, no man to console. Yeah. I can see the way they're looking at me. They're in control and they continue to grab me. Sending a little, so I gotta put her back in the middle. Uneven slices, now I have to cut them in dices. People say OCD isn't bad, just try to ignore it and I promise you'll be glad. I just hope you understand the things I do from OCD isn't planned. Yeah, I'm telling you, hold on a little longer. Go and get the help that you need. Yeah, I'm spreading awareness for mental illness taking control, fighting a battle that's never won. Mental illness taking your soul, not to be left, no mind to console. Yeah, I'm telling you, hold on a little longer. Go and get the help that you need. Yeah, I'm I'm spreading the witness. Yeah. I'm spreading the witness. The theme for my song was mental illness. The song is called Hold On a Little Longer because there are many mentally ill persons out there who do not know how to express themselves or who do not get the chance to express themselves due to persons in the community giving them a disadvantage. Words hurt, you should be careful what you say.
And these were some of the poems and songs that we had from the students of the Canawan Secondary School. The judges are not ready yet, so I'm going to give you one more, and I'm going to call Miss Latoya Williams.
Good afternoon, everybody. My poem, well, the theme for my poem is mental illness also. It was officially written by me. The title is Monster in My Head. Breaking down, crying every night, thinking and falling asleep in fright. Frightened of being surrounded by them who's actually one but sound like 10. Every day, it makes me feel like I'm not enough, and honestly, I'm tired because it's really rough. I'm struggling to focus to make everyone proud because these voices in my head keep screaming loud. With each passing day, I feel like I'm drifting away from reality and away from everyone. I always feel like disappointment, causing trouble for everyone. I want to move from here and go somewhere far away. Somewhere to clear my mind from the problems and to get away from the negativity. Everyone blaming me, abusing me, cursing me. As bad as it is, I always feel alone, looking for comfort, for a home. Tell me, is this the life I chose? I feel so scared to the point I can't breathe, but I must. Thinking so many thoughts, trying to trust so hard. Is there anyone to help, or do I have to do it myself? Words can't describe what I feel, and I don't want to believe this life is real. But I was told that all days are not bad, and all the problems I have would go away, that they are temporary, they are not here to stay.
Thank you very much. And before I turn back to Mr. Marshall and the judges, I just want to say to you that you see our students that we have, sometimes we do not give them a chance, but these children are very well educated, and if we give them the opportunity, they are able to produce great things. I just want to give the opportunity to 3 persons in the audience, I wouldn't go further than that, who would like to say something about this evening proceedings before I turn back to Mr. Marshall and the judges. Adults, that is. Is there anyone who would like to make a few comments or say anything? Please, don't be shy. Our children have demonstrated to us this evening that they are capable. And as parents, you should be proud, even though you do not have a child here this evening who took part in the public speaking competition, or those who presented from what they have to send to CXC, that goes to CXC to see what they have done, that they are A students. A students. So if you have anything, adults, please say something. Someone, 2, 3. Miss Nag.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, principal of the Canoan Secondary School, students. Which is one of the students is my daughter, Shara Snag. And Shara, I am so proud of you. In my days, growing up as a student like you, I didn't reach far in primary school. And I am proud and overwhelmed and happy to see you are in the Canoan Secondary School doing a lot of things like today. I was sitting in the back there and I was crying, which is, I can say this another thing for Gabriela, which is my first daughter, who passed through the primary school of Canoan and went to the mainland, girls' high school, went to college, now she is teaching and secretary at the Canoan Secondary School. I am so proud of you guys. So proud, thank you.
Any other? We're gonna have Mrs. Compton.
Good afternoon, everybody. You guys reminded me of my secondary school days, but you managed to wow me way beyond that. I'm like so proud of you. You kind of like touched me emotionally. I sat there and I keep having to after that won't come water from my eyes and all of that. I mean, you did great. Come on, give yourself a round of applause. Come on, you did great. Congratulations. So whether now tell me, why do you think the judges stay so long behind there? They're having a difficult time tallying and coming up with a winner. You might be surprised that you have 6 of them. It is possible. And then for those impromptu things, it was good. And Miss Experienced Taichu, she sounded like an experienced Taichu. You understand? But I must say congratulations to the school also. If you're a parent like me, Mr. Oliver, it's not everything I would say congratulations to you for. But this, I'm saying congratulations to the teachers, principal of the Canoan Secondary School. This is a great idea. I don't think there's anybody who's listened to